to Multiplayered. For better or for worse, I'm your host, Guillermo Dorado, and next to me are two Hanzo mains, our co-hosts. We got Zach Matzganis.
No. We're not starting off like that. But
too late.
What up?
Wow. There's no editing. We're not going to cut this out.
Wow.
Second Hanzo main is Javier Ortiz.
Wow. How dare you?
Sorry, guys. If you just played Sombra more often, then I could give you guys the respect you deserve. But
wow.
Is what it is. Before we start the show, guys, I want to say, well, first I want to cut off Javier and his insult.
I hate you.
I wanted to say, if you're watching this on YouTube, and guys, you ever feel like you have to get up and go and get up and went, you can bring us with you via podcast. Go on our iTunes and Google Play and listen to our sweet, sweet voices, because that's the best part about us, arguably. I mean, we're not very good looking. Look at us.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. So, and if you're listening to this, our podcast, you can also watch the YouTube version of this. It's on our channel at youtube.com/multiplayered. Guys, you have so many mediums to enjoy the show. Why not use them? We give it to you for free. Also, if you want extra content, you can go to our Patreon page and you can just donate $1 and get 2 extra videos right then and there a month. But I know, crazy, so much. But yeah, the higher you go with the donations, the more things we give and the more incentives that you guys get. So go check that out and please just give it a nice little visit. But if you don't want to do that, you can always stick around here for our podcast or YouTube show, because that is free and just for your guys' pleasure. So, that's all the way.
Woo!
Yep.
And I'm done with the show. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yep.
I expended all the energy.
Hearing your
Later.
voice.
Yeah, I'm just so exhausted now. No, yeah. So talking about Hanzo mains,
Oh my God.
we're gonna jump into Overwatch, guys, because we've all played with Doomfist now. Doomfist is out on consoles, and how do you guys feel about it?
Good. You know, he definitely plays a little different than I was thinking. You know, obviously I'm on the PS4 side. I think all of us are.
Yeah.
Less you, because you don't know good games.
No. PS4 side.
But yeah, we're on the PS4 side, and you know, with pretty much everything, I try to not to spoil things for myself.
Got it.
And it was like one of those things I could have gone and watched a bunch of videos on Doomfist for PC.
We talk about it a lot on the show, so that's kind of that's a little bit of a
but
spoiler there.
I don't know. But it's just one of those things. I just wanted to kind of be like a nice surprise. Like, oh, like I saw a couple little videos here and there, but I was like, I wanted it to kind of feel new. And so I only watched a couple things, then I jumped onto the PS4 when he finally launched the other day.
Sure.
And he's a cool character.
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah, you know, he definitely...
He's slow as anything.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking since he's kind of on the DPS side versus the tank side that I thought he would originally be on, I thought he'd be a little faster, a little more like Genji, but he's
a bulking mass of a human. He's not going to be quick and dexterous as Genji.
Yeah, but I mean,
fucking cyborg ninja.
Yeah, but you know, at the very least, I thought he needed like a block or a reflect or something, kind of like Genji. And I mean, he has this giant freaking fist. He just blocks stuff. Like,
I mean, I did enjoy it. What'd you think?
He's all offense. Like he is Akuma of. I mean, no, because he's not a glass cannon. He can take damage, but like he can put out. A ton of damage, and which I love. I love that charge attack with his giant metal fist.
Jesus.
Like,
thing's crazy.
When I was playing, you know, when I was trying him out, there were 2 things I did with that charge fist. One, I would like every corner when I was about to turn, I'd charge up, and as soon as I turned the corner, I'd just launch at like whoever was there.
It's like a strategy.
Yeah. Or I would just go up top and like the way Reaper does his ult, where he just jumps
exactly.
and does his die.
Yeah,
I would
just
just jump, charge, and like look for my target while I'm landing, and just yeah.
But you just felt like the rush of wind and adrenaline. It's like,
it's pretty awesome.
You
and like you do that with the uppercut or vice versa. He's a pretty cool combo character.
Yeah. But there's some weird stuff in there. Like with that charge punch, you can only go straight, like a linear punch.
Yeah.
But I thought like maybe he could jump up in the air, look straight down, and do a charge punch that way. I thought that'd be really cool.
I mean, they do. It's the meteor fist. You have that.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, I want the option to be able to go in different directions.
Sure.
With it. And it wasn't there. He's still a cool character. Like I think he's definitely a character you have to kind of get used to.
Well, it was kind of funny too. Like as soon as that like came out, like the whole Doomfist was announced. There's a bunch of these like memes that kind of came out. It was they were superimposing Terry Crews' face on Doomfist. But then, oddly enough, you know, then it was announced that in Crackdown 3, Terry Crews is a playable character. So it was just like the fans get what you want. It's not in the same game that you needed. You know, like it was just so funny. And no, like I think the skins were the most impressive part with Doomfist. It looked really, really super badass.
Really? You like those?
Oh, I thought they were really awesome. Like the
okay.
African War Paint one, that was really badass.
That one was cool.
Yeah,
I like that and the leopard skin one. I didn't like his whatever the like. Whatever the ones that are like 1,000 gold are, those two, like the red skinned and the blue skin.
Oh, the blue skin one with like a horn, I think, or something
yeah,
like that.
I'm not a big fan of those.
You could literally say anything
weird.
and I believe you.
Yeah,
you don't know what we're talking about.
The one where he's wearing like a Barney dinosaur outfit. You know?
My ass, that would be awesome. That would be so awesome. I would love to rain upon my enemies with fists of fury as the purple family-hugging dinosaur. Yeah, so Doomfist, we got to play with him. I had a pretty good time with him. I hated going against him. Because it was like one of those things like you run around a corner, poof, you're like, all right, well, I guess that's the end of that life. I got to do it again. I probably clipped your mic pretty bad. It was worth it, though. Committed to that.
Like, typically when you're playing, like, you know, you'll get hit from behind, and you don't die, because you're like, all right, someone's hitting from behind, so I have enough time to turn around, do something to counter. But, like, there were moments where I was playing, and there was Doomfist on the other team, and just, like, out of nowhere, just, like, my ass gets fisted, and I'm dead. Yeah, that's what happens in that game.
I did not realize Blizzard's really taking bounds and leaps with their stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
God.
And
Blizzard's Overwatch sponsored by Pornhub.
It looks my character just go flying because he just gets socked like crazy. Like there is something oddly satisfying just about punching. Like that was one thing because his character reminds me of there was a PSP game, a God of War PSP game, Ghost of Sparta. It was really good. It's a really good PSP game, and he had one of the weapons he got. I forget. It was like the Fist of Zeus or something, but he basically looked like Doomfist, where he just had a giant fist, and his whole thing was just like punch. And so like it kind of reminds me of that, where it's just super powerful punch.
It's not a wholly original idea.
No, it's not. It just the look of it really reminds me of that.
Sure.
I think just punches in general, like a really epic punch in a game is just so like you think about the Falcon Punch.
Yeah.
Or
that's the only one you need.
That's it, done. But just like,
nothing will beat it.
There's just like a lot of beat 'em up games. There's like some just like epic punch or it's just.
Or Ganondorf Sparta Kick. That's a big fan favorite for me. Until it gets done to me, then I hate it. But 2 hours after Doomfist released for consoles, after that was out, fans were already they're greedy for more information, more stuff like that. And so immediately there was a new hero leaked for Overwatch. Now, this is alleged. It was leaked on Reddit by someone of the name what is it? Blackwatch
Files?
Blackwatch Files, yes.
Or is that just something on Reddit, or is that the person's name?
That was the person's name who did the leak. His name was Blackwatch Files.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So he leaked, it was basically conception art as well as a bio for the character. The character's name is Siren. She's very, in looks specifically, she looks like a hybrid between Symmetra and Sombra. She's a defensive character with tanking abilities, and she has a bio that fans are starting to speculate is just way too in-depth, and so that's what they're thinking is makes this illegitimate and not credible.
Right.
Because we haven't seen any kind of such in-depth bios for those characters when we hear a new hero is announced and stuff like that. However, it's not to say that the Blizzard team or the Overwatch team themselves don't have these bios internally for them to help actually conceptualize the character further.
Right. Which I wouldn't doubt.
Exactly. I mean, they have to, obviously. The person, what makes this guy credible is, yes, the post itself does look very legitimate, and also he says that he has very close ties with someone to the Overwatch team internally, and that's how he got his hands on this leak. Again, though, fans are skeptical about the whole thing. However, the character looks super badass. She has this sword.
Really
cool. She has this sword that has it kind of looks like a spinal column almost, right?
Like jagged edges.
It reminds me of
it retracts and
what's her name? Ivy.
Ivy, yeah.
Yeah, from Soul Calibur.
Absolutely.
That's what it totally reminded me of.
Yeah.
Is that cool kind of funky sword.
Yeah, what's the name of that?
I don't remember.
I forgot.
It's been so many years.
Yeah,
Couldn't tell you.
I know what you're talking about though.
I mean, who was looking at her sword? That's what I'm saying.
True.
Boobies.
Yeah. Thank you, Zach.
She had a very large swords.
But yeah, so the fans are skeptical, and Blizzard, of course, is being tight-lipped about this. They're not saying anything. They're not they're not devalidating it or invalidating it.
That word?
Invalidate. I corrected it. I corrected myself. And they're also not confirming. So they've always kind of been this way with their character announcements and stuff like that. So, I mean, do we want this to be a real thing?
I mean, my big thing is, I want more and more Overwatch characters.
Yeah.
I mean, that game is just like every time.
When is enough though? Because there are already so many to an overwhelming extent.
It's never enough.
No.
Okay.
Because it's one of
It's manageable.
as long as they can still keep the game balanced in some way, keep bringing them on, because it's like you're just continuing to mix up the meta, which is great, because it's like, you go into these competitive matches and you hate just seeing the same 6 characters on both teams every time.
Sure.
So the more characters you bring in, the more variety
Keeps
you get.
it fresh, not stale, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think they've done 3 characters so far, right? Like new ones?
Sombra,
Orisa, and Doomfist.
Yeah.
I think
Summer was an addition too.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
She came out last BlizzCon. BlizzCon 2016. Yeah.
She's awesome. Gosh, she's my favorite character so far.
It's very tactical.
Yeah, so that's pretty much that. I think we can move on though. I mean, well, first, do you want this character? Do you want Siren to be a thing?
Totally, yeah. More characters, the better. I mean, I don't know how much I believe it, because you can't believe everything online. But
Sure.
I mean, it'd be cool. I wouldn't mind a new character. I mean, if you're combining characters like Symmetra and Sombra, who are both extremely support based.
Well, no, she just looks like she looks physically like a combination of the two characters, but she is a defense character with tanking abilities. So it's just kind of but the thing is that the conceptual art doesn't really make her look that. You know?
She does. That's what when I looked at her, she didn't seem like a tank.
She looks more like DPS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
support,
it's probably like Doomfist, where it's like she hits something and it's like he hits something and he generates shields from it. So it's like there's stuff like that you might not necessarily be a tank, but you might have like additional shield on top of your HP, which I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple ways this could go down. We don't even know if it's real.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
One of her abilities though is that she can fling her or detract her sword and fling it across about 20 meters and can pierce multiple enemies at the same time.
Oh, like Ivy.
Exactly. Exactly.
It sounds like just Ivy.
It's Ivy. Yeah, this is Ivy. Okay, so I think moving on from that, hopefully that's a real thing. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it's
more
really
characters, the better.
soon after we just got our first,
That's what makes me
last
doubt
character.
it. Like,
Right. I mean,
so soon. Come on.
Right. But things that are coming soon. The Xbox One X is going to be possibly available for pre-order in the very, very, very near future. Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, tweeted recently saying, quote, "Our plan is this. All approvals are done, so now just landing the announcement with all the info. Won't be too much longer." So, a lot of people are speculating that it's going to probably happen around GameCon in August.
That seems to be the speculation.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right. I mean, for $500, they're not going to go any less than that, because they say they physically can't go sell a console for any less than that, because it's quote unquote basically a premium computer. Top of the line computer.
Yeah. I mean, the hardware inside of that thing is it's top of the line.
Right. Yeah. Are you guys gonna
for a console?
You guys don't have any plans to pre-order it, do you?
I don't.
I mean, I literally can't afford that.
Yeah, I mean, my big thing is as of right now, I don't have a 4K TV.
Yeah.
And there's not any games that are necessarily on the on the Xbox One that I feel like I need to go out and buy this $500 console. It's like everything I would want to play that would be coming to the Xbox One, I can get on the PS4.
Plus, we haven't had a console that expensive since the PS3 was announced. What was that, $600 when it first?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, crazy.
That's why everybody bought a 360.
Yeah, absolutely.
Much.
So, and I mean, this one I guess justifies the price because of the internal hardware, but that's still a steep price point for game consoles in general. I mean,
well, that's why they have the S. It's one of those things where it's like, look, we have the
top of the line.
It's like we have the top of the line. It's like if you're hardcore, you're 4K, you're all in for just the most powerful console. Here it is. For everybody else, here's our entry level Xbox One S. and that
I'm so
covers.
Opposed to that. I'm so opposed to this like level, this tier system of consoles.
Yeah.
I'm so against
they're
it.
just they're going kind of in that mobile like iPhone kind of.
I know, but that's what like I hate it because like now we're gonna get possibly a new console every year, a new iteration of the same console that we own every year.
Well, that's like we've talked about this before. We're just technology in general. It just updates so fast nowadays. Every year, like your device is obsolete because every year something newer and better comes out. And
I get it. I know we've talked about it before,
No,
but I'm still salty about it.
No, I know. I don't like it either. I think it bums me out because like now I feel like my OG PS4, and it's not even an OG PS4, but like my PS4 is just like not as good as the other systems. And it's like, you are.
But it's
yeah, exactly. You're like petting it, like,
you are good.
Don't listen to the bullies,
I think it's a good thing and a bad thing because it's it's bad because it's like you feel like you're getting gypped when there's a better console of this. It's like if I have a PS4 and there's a PS4 Pro, or vice versa with the Xbox One. Yeah. It's like, well, this could look better.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's like that the Destiny 2 PS4 Pro, the all white. Oh, it looks so nice.
Yeah. Oh, it does look beautiful.
Want
but
that,
like,
man. It looks so good.
Yeah. But it's one of those things.
Just
to
color your own PS4.
Know, but it just looks
to get some white
nice.
out. But
no, actually, the nicest consoles I've ever seen were at my friend's house when they actually like customly painted their own. I was like, this is
well,
super
yeah,
badass.
you can get those custom jobs. Beautiful.
That's when you go to Etsy.
Yeah.
But it's like the good thing about it is like, if you talk to any developers, they always talk about how it's like they're developing games for consoles that are. It's like these consoles, because technology moves so fast, they're like 5 years in the past.
Sure.
And it's like they, if everything was being made to like PC specs, then we would just have these even crazier games.
Sure.
That are coming out,
Well,
but it's like they gotta fit these games on these
right.
consoles.
Yeah.
And the games that are releasing kind of alongside the Xbox One X, you have Anthem, you have Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, Metroid, or I'm sorry, not Metroid. That would be weird.
What?
Metro Exodus. But then you also we talked last week about some indie games, and specifically some that you and I had referenced that we said, hey, go play these games, they're really great, are getting sequels. So like now Ori and the Blind Forest is now getting a sequel called Ori and the Will-O-Wisp.
It looks beautiful.
I'm so excited. That
so
game
good.
is, oh my god, so sad. Like the very opening of that game, like the first I think 15 minutes was almost to me as emotionally like heart-wrenching as Last of Us. Because it's even cuter. They're not even humans, but it's like tiny little creatures like, oh no! And you're like, what is the fate of that little guy? I've attached him so quickly. So yeah, that's getting a sequel. Also, Life is Strange: Before the Storm. So now you get to...
Which is a prequel.
Before the Storm. Yeah. My point is a new one of an indie game. So
they
how do you
got
guys...
the prequel and the sequel.
Wait, they have a sequel too?
Yeah, Life is Strange 2, which will... they haven't shown like anything from that yet, but we know it's coming.
Oh, okay.
But we got the prequel, which is...
So we're getting some indie games that are like, I guess now like, going up in tiers essentially now to like higher on-demand games, like kind of on the same level as these AAA titles. We also have like Shovel Knight doing really well and doing multiple iterations of that game.
It's crazy how well Shovel Knight's done.
So,
like you can get that literally on
happy.
every console.
Yeah.
Since last gen, like it's amazing and it's still doing so well.
Yeah, and they're about to release the collection, another collection that includes all of the, because they have the treasure collection. No, but there's another one because you can't get Spectre Knight. That's not included in any bundles yet.
Really? Not the one for the Switch?
No. It's either that or they're going to release each one separately. That might be what it is. Because the treasure bundle, you can't buy them separately, but you can Spectre Knight. That's what it is. I lied to you guys. My plan worked. I give you false information and then I reel it back in with the real stuff. So yeah, that's gonna happen. So that's kind of good news. We're gonna get some more indie games that we love and more iterations of that. Just I hope that doesn't kind of like again reach its octopusy monopoly tentacles into the rest of the game.
Why did you have to use that word?
I don't know. I like it. I'm gonna keep it. Octopussy.
James Bond movie?
Yeah. Going further, more pre-orders. More about Octopussy. No, more pre-orders. We have the SNES Classic. Javier, we're going to talk to you specifically because you have a little bit of a sore spot for this subject.
Well, me too.
Did you also?
Yeah, we both ordered it.
I didn't know that.
We both got canceled.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Here's the news. Okay,
Spoilers.
so the SNES Classic, Walmart went ahead and opened the door for pre-orders. And it was open for quite a long time. A long time in the sense of like what the pre-order window usually is for like those classics and stuff like that. Usually it's like an hour or so. It was a couple hours for this time. Yeah. It was open, and you guys made your pre-orders for this thing. How much did you lay down on it?
Well,
just the regular
$80.
Yeah, it's
Oh, you paid the whole thing off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's like things like Amazon.
Right, you pay the entire thing. Right.
But it's like Walmart. Once it's like, okay, we've sold this console to you, they'll charge.
That's when you get charged.
But so it's like nothing was taken from my card yet.
Sure.
It's like I still dropped the full 80.
Well, and then what happened shortly after you guys made your pre-orders?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing was like after I did it, I was like, that was way too easy. It's like
that's
something.
That's the thing, because I was sitting at work, and at work I've got my desktop computer, and I had my laptop sitting next to me, and so I was kind of on downtime, so I was on my laptop and I was checking my email, and while I was checking my email, got an alert from Walmart saying, hey, the item you've had on a watch list is now in stock. I was like, what? And I clicked on it, and like, I don't even remember subscribing for this SNES Classic at Walmart, because I had just done it for like Best Buy, Target, just every store I could think of. Sure. And so when I got that for Walmart, I just went on immediately, and I was like, holy shit, it's going to sell out. I got it very easily, texted Zach as soon as I did it. I'm like, hey, it's open. And, it was simple. Like, I did it right away, like no waste of time.
Right.
And...
like within the first 30 minutes of it being announced?
Within the first 30 seconds.
Oh,
I'm telling you, like, I got the email, and as soon as I got the email, I did it.
Oh, wow.
Like, I took no time, because I was on downtime at work, so I was just checking my email.
Okay.
And so, I got the tracking number for everything, or the receipt number, saying, hey, all right, cool, confirmed. You'll be picking up on October 5th or something, whenever it comes out. I was like, cool. That was really easy.
September 29th, actually.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah, but it was like for our orders, I think we were like the second batch or something.
Yeah.
So it's like yours are basically going to be in like a week.
Right.
Or whatever. But yeah, it's like he sent me the link, and I was like, oh no! I just like typed it in real quick.
Is that how you type in a computer?
Yeah. That's his battle cry when he pre-orders stuff.
But I mean, I was like lightning, and I went on there, ordered it, and I was like, that was way too easy.
Right.
Yeah.
It was way too easy, but I got it. I felt good. And then a few days later, I got the email, and I cried.
Well, dude, that's the thing. I didn't even get the email first. I saw it on Twitter.
Someone hired from Walmart came to my job, slapped me in the face, and then said, you don't get your order, and walked out. Weirdest thing.
It was on Twitter. I think it was Kotaku that put the story up first. I forget who it was. But they said, like, Walmart supposedly is canceling pre-orders. And I was like, what? And I read the article, and it said, like, it was a glitch in the Matrix or whatever, and like they didn't mean to put that up at that time. Like, what? This can't be real. How do you make that mistake? Like, whoops, the SNES Classic went live.
No, it makes sense because I mean, if you think about it,
why?
Well, because it's a worldwide company having to deal with 1,000 million different retailers and their contracts and situations like that. So I could absolutely understand if like within like the input of the data and everything, like just so many different facets of information coming in at once, I see how it could accidentally slip up and then someone has to go like, whoa, we accidentally pushed the publish button on that.
But that doesn't make sense because you're dealing with a licensed property from a video game company. And all these stores like Walmart, Target, whatever, they all deal with video games being sold at their places, and you can pre-order because lots of places have exclusives,
sure.
GameStop, Best Buy. So how can you make a mistake that a video game, of all things, is going to get released at that time? Like, that doesn't make sense because people pre-order games all the time.
Well, I think you're also simplifying the whole process, too, because you have to put in the
But that mistake never happens.
It has happened.
I mean, it happens a lot.
It happens.
With games?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What games does that happen to?
I mean,
every single game you've ever owned, it's happened.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest ways that we find out about like a game's release date or any of this stuff is like, Amazon. It always seems to be like Amazon France for some reason.
Oh, that's
those weird people. But I mean, you get these companies where it's like, they create the post, they prep it for pre-orders, but it's not ready for pre-order for whatever the reason.
But like
is.
it actually goes live and people buy it and it gets canceled.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
Yeah,
That's
or
news to
they'll
me
just
because that's
like
insane.
it'll pop up for a millisecond and it'll get taken down, but somebody will screen cap
that.
that.
I understand.
This was just a bigger mistake.
That's the thing. Like that's why it bothers me. Like I get that. You're right. I see that all the time. Like something goes up for like a minute and they're like, whoops, and they take it down. I get that. But for like over an hour, like that.
It could also be like a really smart like marketing campaign to see like, okay, how well is this gonna sell?
Yeah, like
and
they
then
like
open up the pre-orders like as a survey.
Like they need those numbers.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole situation is completely screwy. Like,
it is weird.
I really like. I don't want to.
Nintendo completely screwy. What
a wacky company.
But it's just it's just super odd, and I don't know if I necessarily blame Walmart. I think it's
I do. I blame them for everything. They're very easy to blame.
They're
very for a lot of things.
But I think it's just Nintendo of America. I really do. They can't seem to grasp just setting up a pre-order. It's like Japan's done pre-orders.
Yeah.
Europe's done pre-orders. Where's our pre-orders?
Yeah, it doesn't make
any sense. It's like with the NES, it's just we didn't think this thing was going to sell.
Right. And that's the thing. When I saw the Kotaku article about that, I think it was Kotaku, again, could be mistaken. When I saw that, I was like, things are getting canceled. I checked my email like 30 times that day, and the next few days, I'm like, mine hasn't gotten canceled. I haven't heard anything from Walmart.
So you're not steeped in that denial
for
a while.
I even looked on my confirmation email. I clicked on it, went to the Walmart page, and it said, yeah, it's all good. October 5th, that's when it's going to be in stock. I'm like, okay, if you say so. That's why I was like, this can't be. Maybe some people, like, I originally thought, like, I guess maybe they let too many pre-orders in.
Sure.
But then I eventually got the email saying, hey, sorry, guy.
But,
yeah,
that's
what it was.
Guy who was like in charge of sending out those like cancellation emails, and he's like, I don't want to upset all these people.
Yeah,
so he's just like,
I'm sorry.
Trying to build up the courage to push that send button, and as soon as he does, he can like feel just a million people going, no!
When I got the email,
he became an alcoholic shortly after.
Yeah. When I got that email, I emailed him back saying, you suck. So I hope Walmart sees that.
But speaking of like going into like Nintendo's numbers though, like yes, they're doing very, very well comparatively to last year. Like the NES Classic sold incredibly quickly. The SNES, with all of the orders they had to cancel, now they absolutely know the demand and how high it is. The stakes are raised. But I mean, besides that though, just according to Reuters, that's a weird website. I don't know if that's how you say it.
Sounds like a plumbing company.
I know, it's called Reuters. Reuters?
Reuters?
I don't know.
Reuters.
Limit. No, but according to them, Nintendo has reported a 16.21 billion yen profit. That's approximately $144.95 million this year, as compared to last year, where someone was calling me, and they were like, whoa, you're talking about the Nintendo news numbers? And I'm like, yeah, actually I am.
Wow.
What do you need?
You want to talk about unreportional?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You're fired.
Yeah, Walmart put out a pre-order and then they canceled it all.
Tell me about it.
No, but reportedly last year, though, they reported a 5.13 billion yen loss.
Yeah.
Because of the Wii U and how badly that was selling. Since then, they've now canceled production for the Wii U, and now we're going into, they've surpassed their analyst forecast for the April to June stretch, which they were forecasted for 11.55 billion yen.
Yeah.
Surpassed that by a whole 5 billion. Mm-hmm. And they're selling, ARMS did 1.18 million units, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did 3.54 million units, and Zelda, of course, is the showrunner and the flagship. 3.92 million units, almost under 400 worldwide. However, the Switch has only sold 4.7 million units because of
production issues.
Yeah, because it's production, and it could be outselling everything right now by waves.
Nintendo.
That's
what they do. It's just, I don't get the logic.
Well, they're playing it safe because the Wii U did so poorly last year.
I get that.
Yeah.
I still don't get let's make an NES Classic. But only this many.
I feel like there's just one guy.
Exclusivity. Keyword.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just one guy at a factory. His name's Frank. And he's just cranking out these consoles.
He's also the one who's in charge of sending the cancellation orders too. Like he's just trying
He's
to
just one guy. He's molding the plastic. He's putting in
doing
the chips.
everything alone by himself.
He's just like, could I get an extra hand?
Shut up, Frank. Keep working, or your family doesn't eat today.
And Reggie's just like, well, we have limited resources. I don't know what you want us to do.
I cranked out 4.6 million units. Can I please get some help?
Yeah,
No, but they're doing. I mean, like, it's gotten so bad that in Japan there is still such a Switch problem that they're actually doing not even like lines for video games anymore. Like, you know, like here we're doing still people are like lining up outside of Targets whenever there's a shipment that's like rumored to come in. They're lining up the day before, even 2 days before, to get that Switch because
Basically a Hunger Games situation.
exactly.
Going on.
They are literally killing each other in the streets. The streets are running red with blood because of the Switch. No, but they're doing this whole raffle and lottery system where they're like going to these places, locations like Toys R Us and a couple other Japanese-specific companies where they're supposed to have a very limited shipment coming in, and they go, okay, come on down, here's a ticket, hopefully your number gets called.
Yeah.
And it's like, that system is even flawed, like to where like people are, like numbers are getting skipped in tickets. So like if you and I went together, I would get number 178 and you would get number 181. And like there was a couple...
Kill you.
No, but the point is that we went in together, but we didn't get consecutive numbers.
Yeah.
And so those were the numbers that end up getting called, so people weren't even getting the Switches, and it's just a whole backlash. People are getting
This is
nuts.
like the plot of a bad Christmas movie, where
Right.
like the parent waited last
Before
minute,
the
you know?
murder. Before the mass murder. So it's a
Nintendo's
huge
plan.
problem, and they could be like outselling all sort, like just, I mean, they already have broken records with their opening weekend with the Switch and stuff like that, but they could be killing even more if they just would like, you know, give the supply that the demand is, you know, meet the demand, whatever. Now the question is, if they make enough consoles, or they make what they think is enough, and they, you know, completely satisfy the demand, and then they have extra, do you think that would happen, or do you think that there's such a high demand that possibly couldn't be perceived to happen?
Where they have like extra?
Yeah, like where they overstock stores.
Like Wii U kind of like. Well,
yeah.
I don't.
Well, the Wii U didn't sell. That was when that was overstocked.
But I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty hot item, and
Hot.
like, what? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Solve
like...
These are the ones that matter. You know, what's the meaning of life?
It's...
Is there
will the
existence after
Switch
death?
sales?
And will the Switch get more
I mean,
fucking units?
It's really easy for us to sit here and talk about, like, oh yeah, they just need to make more.
Yeah.
They just need to make.
Especially when we sound like that.
Yeah.
They would just make more
Well, that's what Miyamoto sounds like.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yo, Miyamoto,
Blasphemy, I call it. That's not on this show.
But it's just like, you know, I gotta believe that manufacturing, especially like a video game console, is just gotta be just a nightmare situation just in general, where it's just like you're trying to, like, you have, you know, analytics predicting what you think you're gonna do numbers wise, but it's like you never know what the mass market is gonna want to, you know, buy. And it's just,
You know, though,
always,
like when they, how soon or how early did pre-orders open for Zelda before the Switch? Did that even happen? Because I believe that the game was available for pre-order before the Switch.
It was.
That should have been a huge indication of like how well that console was going to sell, because I mean, a lot of people literally bought the game before they even knew they could get a Switch.
Yeah.
I was one of them. I had that game pre-ordered and paid for months before I had the Switch. Yeah, and so like that should have been a pretty huge indicator. And I think that if they had done that at the beginning and used that as like a, okay, one last fail-safe, let's let this go into pre-order and see how much, and then like we can dictate from there or adjust if we need to. I think that would have been a big help for them.
Yeah,
If only they had hired me on Nintendo,
clearly.
the analytics team.
out of all the things, like, I think that Nintendo, you know, if they have all these manufacturing problems that they claim that they have, it's like they need to be like a year prior to a system launching, like, hey, look, the SNES Classic is going to come out in 1 year.
Yeah.
Put in your pre-order, or you're not getting it
Yeah.
anytime soon.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, done. I will pre-order that. Here's all of my money.
Yeah,
Just
pre-order's open for a year, but realistically, it's open for a day. Because it would be closed out afterwards.
But they know the numbers then.
Yeah.
Because after that, it's like, okay, we have a year to try and manufacture at least this many,
Oh, so where they don't put a cap on the pre-orders. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like they at least know. And then it's like it's one of those things like, if I don't get it on launch day, that's okay. I just want one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
At some point would be nice.
Yeah. I don't even know if I can get one now.
Yeah,
it's like who knows? But it's one of those things. If Nintendo through Target or Walmart or whatever was like, okay, you pre-ordered it. Congratulations. You're going to get
a fucking
it.
cookie.
I mean,
He's so like dismissive. Congratulations with your pre-order.
Congratulations. We will mail your cookie out right now. But if they were just like, okay, you pre-ordered it. You're in a line that, right now we're predicting you're going to get it 4 months later than everybody. I'm like, okay, at least I'm getting it. I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. But it's like right now.
Also
it's
a cookie, so great.
The cookie's in
Bonus.
the mail.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be good, but I'm getting a cookie.
Yeah.
What I find weird is that, like, you've had... So how long has the Switch been out? Since, what, April? March? Okay. So it's been since March, and you've got those numbers where, like, wow, the Switch is doing really well. Maybe
That's what they said too. Wow. It's doing
No,
really
it's
well.
like maybe we should prioritize the Switch.
Frank is in the...
Wow, he did a lot of numbers. That's amazing.
Guys.
He is superhuman.
But really, like, you've had all this time to realize how much
Franks.
Switch sales have, like, how much have been sold, right?
Sure.
And it's a lot. It's a shit ton. Like, all of them are
This is
sold
not
out.
new information.
But
You're just
right
regurgitating
I'm
facts
getting
in
to
a
it. I'm
less
getting to it.
intelligent way.
But like, so you have all these Switch sales, but like since the time has passed, since the Switch has come out,
Sure.
we've had 2 different 3DSs come out. Well, no, a 3DS,
17 different 3DSs, and
whatever.
we have a new 2DS XL
and
on the horizon.
Yeah, and now this 2DS XL that just came out. So it's
Yeah.
like, I get it. The 3DS is important, and you want to push it until 2018, I think is what they said.
Yeah.
But like, no one wants it. Like, just give me my Switch.
But it's selling.
It does sell.
Yeah.
But so does the Switch.
But
like,
better.
and it's a better 3DS.
But the 2DS, because
2DS,
of
better
the 2DS, that's what just came out.
because of the Switch limitations, or not
Limitations.
because of their shortages, the 2DS was the best-selling console in Japan for last month.
Because of the shortages.
Right.
So
but
why don't you just focus on the console?
Because it probably cost $20 to make that 2DS.
But that's the thing. Like, you just released the stop it. You just released the DS a few months ago.
Yeah,
so why are you releasing another one when you still have people who are like, hey, my ticket isn't the one that got called. I just want to switch. Like, can I
This
please
is the 15th
get it?
uncalled ticket I
Yeah,
have,
it's
please.
like I've been to Toys R Us like 20 times this month.
Hey, yo, Frank's working on it.
It's just like I feel like I'm in a deli. Like, all right, grab your number, and
That
if
guy
we
got a
get to
fucking
you,
cookie, and I still haven't got my Switch. Like, what's going on?
I feel like
Man, the callbacks in this shit are doing so good.
it's like Miyamoto's just up there with a cigar and a martini, just like, not my
As
problem.
he ashes his cigar onto the heads of like his fans. I was like,
Just these children are just like, please, sir, can I have one? No.
oh my god. Well, and another thing too is that Metroid Prime 4, it was announced at E3
It
for
was.
the release date at 2018. Everyone lost their minds, including us, community. And now they've gone back on that and said, hey, release date's TBD, to be announced, or to be determined.
Yeah.
Yeah, TBA, TBD,
TBD.
dealer's choice. Same thing.
AADS, whatever.
Yeah.
It's very Nintendo of them.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that it won't come out in 2018 still, but it doesn't bode well, I think.
Yeah, it's just Nintendo's just extremely reservative. Reservative?
Reserved?
Reserved?
Just reserved.
Yep.
It's
No.
reserved.
I was just let him with it.
The word you look for is preservatives, but the word you want is reserved.
There you go. So they're
Both ways
extremely
you're an idiot.
preservative. There's just a lot of so they're extremely reserved. Like they're just like, we don't want to say a date. We don't want to.
How many of you want it? Only a third of you get it.
Oh, you want this? We'll get around to it.
Here's
Eventually.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, that's
It's
gonna
very
make so many
Nintendo.
people mad. I don't know.
Really? And the NES Classic hasn't? And the SNES Classic hasn't?
Well,
And
yeah,
like-
hey, but now Amazon is doing a whole sale for the NES Classic. There is a what is it called, like off the truck, or no, certain cities are having like Amazon trucks now. I didn't know it was a thing, but they have certain big metropolitan cities are having these Amazon like trucks come by, and they're just selling the NES Classic. Like it's going on a huge fire sale right now. So
yeah, there's a bunch of companies
what happened for SNES Classic.
Well, there was also a story, I think it was this week, where NES Classics were in stock. I forget what's this online store, but they were being sold in bundles with a bunch of other shit. Was that ThinkGeek?
Yeah, which I believe
Mega Man
is
helmet,
yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different shit.
Yeah.
I believe they're owned by GameStop, and their whole thing is just like bundles because you can't get this anywhere else. So we're just gonna bundle it.
Just a bunch of shit on top of
too,
it.
Because I really dropped the ball on the Nintendo Switch pre-orders when that was a thing. I was out of town. I was like, you know what? When I get back to LA, I'm gonna just, because it was like the 8th or the 9th is when I was gonna get back. I was like, I'm gonna go buy a Switch. I have the money. I'm gonna just carve out 3 days and play the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And I was like calling every GameStop and like, you're gonna be fucking kidding.
Have you
Like
heard
they
from me
were
and
literally
Laura?
laughing at my face. They're like, Switch? What are you talking about? But we do have these bundles, and it was like $700 bundles with like 1-2 Switch. Like who wants it? It's like, and they were trying. Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm almost done with my rant.
No, it's funny because I just keep going.
Well, yeah, but like I don't want to pay that much money. And like a couple other bundles were like, yes, including things that I would want, like Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I already had that paid for and pre-ordered.
Right.
And so it's just like, why can't I just get a Switch? But no, they're like withholding it. They're like, no, because we know we can make more money by like holding the Switch hostage and like making you buy a bunch of crap
It's the ransom
that you wouldn't And it's just like so annoying. So like these bundle things that ThinkGeek's doing with the NES Classic or the SNES Classic, that's what I say.
Yeah. And it's funny, like, as much as I was like upset, and I still am upset about the Switch sales, and because I'm just speaking for people in general, like I found it extremely I found it extremely easy to get my Switch. It was just one day I was at your place, Zach, and I was just looking at GameStop's website, and I was like, oh, there's a Switch bundle with Mario Kart, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and a 128 gig SD card for $500. I was like, yeah, I'll get that, and I just bought it, and I got it.
Yeah.
Is that? That's a little upsell though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because each game is $60. That's 120 plus the 250 that the thing was. So it's 310 right there, plus an SD card, which is like what, $60?
The 128 SD card, I don't know how much that would go for. I mean,
so you're probably paying an extra 50 bucks.
So an extra $50, and it was the red and blue one, so I'm happy with it. But like,
one nice thing I do like about the bundles, just to say one nice thing about them, is that the vultures aren't going to go and buy that and then try and put it on eBay.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like it's a bundle. They they're just trying to sell the Switch. So you've got these stupid scalpers that are going out and they want to buy a Switch.
Well, that's why Japan's doing their whole raffle thing too, is because they're trying to limit the number of resellers.
I don't know if that's the necessary answer though.
But
no, it's not. It's not the necessary. But it's working. It's definitely working.
I think this entire conversation in a nutshell is Nintendo hates money. And they don't want ours.
I mean,
they don't want people's money. Your money's gross.
They're still holding their cards too close to their chest when they know that things are going to work. Anyways, moving on though, we really do need to. Yeah. Because something's coming out on August 22nd that we're all super, super excited for. It's on the table. Guys, I'm telling you, podcast listeners, we have hints and foreshadowing. I know the cat's kind of blocking it. But yeah, there's still a cat here.
The cat comes out August 28th.
Exclusive on the PS4
and on multiplayer. No, Uncharted Lost Legacy, the story DLC that's following up the amazing Uncharted 4, is now finally going to be dropped on the 22nd. It's going to be $39.99. It's 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. It's following the game Uncharted 4 about 6 months to a year after those events, and now it's following Chloe Frazier and Nadine Ross. Chloe from Uncharted 2. And Nadine from Uncharted 4.
3-ish.
Yeah, she was a little bit 3. Yeah, the beginning, and then she was like, whoop, done.
Later.
Yeah, but this whole, it looks beautiful. And Naughty Dog just recently released a gameplay footage situation on July 25th. We all got to see that, and it's, it looks
great.
Beautiful. And it looks very reminiscent of Uncharted 4's mission, the 12 Towers. Where Sam, Scully, and Nathan are going through Madagascar and roping trees to get up those muddy
driving jeeps.
Exactly, and you have that whole action set piece. We did not get to see an action set piece in the DLC. I'm sure they have plenty for us to see though.
Yeah,
that's the whole game's
That's one thing Uncharted good for, set pieces in action. Like it's good.
But the cool thing is that they've basically said this is like a little less linear, a little more open.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the cool thing.
Absolutely.
Like you can update your map and like
Yeah.
you just see she's drawn in the journal. And it's like,
But they
really
still
cool.
have like those cool set pieces
Yeah.
that Uncharted's known
Yeah,
for. So I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
it's Naughty Dog, man. They just can't do anything wrong. Like,
And like I like the approach that they're taking on this one too. Like the whole story itself follows like going through like the mythology and like the legends in like Hinduism.
Yeah.
And so they're chasing the artifact, the tusk of Ganesh. And I mean, in the gameplay footage, we have like references to Shiva and like Shiva's axe, you know, like the goddess of destruction, or the god of destruction. And we have these amazing other really cool features that are going to be included in the game too. First of all, before we get into those features, I want to say the sound design of that game, I don't know why, but it just like sounded much more impactful and punchy than like Uncharted 4 did. I think they completely revamped that whole side of it too. It was gorgeous. I was just like, the gunshots felt like, you know, there's like some weight and everything that punches themselves too. But one of like the coolest dynamics that they have is that in this game, Nadine and Chloe are kind of, for better or for worse, they're kind of partners out of convenience.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of getting used to each other as the story progresses. And it's kind of like this like buddy cop vibe situation.
Yeah.
But depending on how your relation, because you play as Chloe, Nadine is a companion character. So depending on how well, how far your relationship has progressed, if it's like, you know, if you guys are getting along really well, that determines Nadine's fighting combat style and situation. Like, so that she could either be a huge helping hand if you guys have that, like, you know, good relationship or understanding of each other, or she could just be kind of like absent and doing her own thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. That
that.
whole dynamic situation where they're really making the AI kind of like intelligent. It's incredible. And that was like one of the things it's got me really hyped for this game because it adds a whole new dimension to the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
It looks great.
Yes,
I mean, it's a great looking game, and I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, I think they're definitely like, obviously it's still in the Uncharted 4 engine, so it's like nothing's changed
beautiful.
there.
Yeah.
But it's like they've had all this like, it's kind of like you think about like Majora's Mask, where it's like that was kind of built on the same engine, but they're doing something totally different with it, where it's like, it's in that engine, but it's like, you know, it's like this kind of a new world doing something different. The vibe's a little different. It's just like I'm really excited. Like, you know, it's a lot more than DLC now. Naughty Dog, as always, just kind of went above and beyond, and they're
With
doing
DLC.
something. Oh yeah, and they
With DLC, they've been always above and beyond with DLC.
Oh yeah, it's like the Last of Us DLC was.
Okay. I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking Last of Us. I was just thinking in terms of Uncharted.
Yeah, I mean that company in general is
so
just
good.
above and beyond. It's like they.
Yeah. Do you know who I think though? What gaming company really set the bar for DLC though? Was CD Projekt for.
Oh yeah.
For Witcher. Yeah, The Witcher 3.
Oh,
I mean, first of all, the DLC that they did release was free to play, and it was like hours and hours of story gameplay.
Like 9,000 hours.
Like I mean, easily.
That game's a lifetime worth of hours.
Oh my god, it's
That
so
game
much
was
fun.
insane.
I kind of want to like dedicate. I mean, well, it's it's been out for a while, and you guys haven't played it yet. Have you played it?
I don't want to.
What?
I don't. I have no interest in playing The Witcher.
What? No,
I have nothing against The Witcher. It looks like a great game. It looks like a beautiful game.
good.
I've been told it's amazing. It's just
I'm telling you right now.
I have commitment issues when it comes to a game that
You're married.
when it comes to a game that's different. Yeah. When I have to dedicate like 1,000 hours to a game. And like maybe
You don't have to. You just will.
But that's the thing. Like I just like, and then that's the problem. Like when I start to do that, it's like, well, I don't have time to play other games because I still have a shit ton to do in Witcher, and I'm just like, you know, that's fine. It's not for me. It's just, it's not my style.
Did you play Skyrim?
Yes,
you
I
played
played
Fallout 4. What are you talking about?
Fallout 4 is way different than Witcher, dude. Fallout.
Of course, it's a different game, but
No, but it's way different. Like
how many hours have you lost playing that game?
not as much as I would lose if I played Witcher. I guarantee you.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
You think that Witcher is more of a time suck than Fallout 4?
For me, yeah, because Fallout 4, there are aspects of it that are technically never ending, and like you catch on to that really quickly. So I followed like the main story, and then like honestly, some of the side stories in Fallout 4 I didn't really enjoy. So yeah, it didn't really suck as much time as you would think.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, we did kind of go off the rails. But going back to Uncharted a little bit, because we do have to end the show here in a minute. I'm trying to, some other things that I saw in the video itself. They added a whole new lockpick mechanic, which I thought was
I thought that was
interesting.
cool.
I don't know what other little small mechanics they've also introduced to make that game give its own little flavor and stuff. And it did seem more stealth focused this time around.
Yeah, she had like a silenced pistol as
I
well.
know.
Yeah.
Super excited about that because
cool.
that's always what I want to do into a game. I want to go into an enemy encampment, infiltrate it, and as
John Wick style.
exactly, yeah, catch the bullet before it hits the ground, so it doesn't make that noise. All of that. That's why, because I always and if I get caught or if I alert my presence is alerted, I restart the checkpoint because I want to do it flawlessly. Yeah, and you couldn't really do that in Uncharted without having to go and snap next, which is also really satisfying.
Yeah.
But you want that
Well, what's really nice about the Lost Legacy, which looks like it's going to do great, I'm sure. But what's nice is that you've got Uncharted 4 as your base, right? So you've already got it looks like a great game on its own. You have Uncharted 4 as your base, and then like you said about the sound design, it's because they have.
You did feel that way too, yeah?
No, yeah, everything. It looks like it's really improved in a lot of things. But that's the thing that's nice about it. It's because it's not a full game. You've got your teams at Naughty Dog that can focus on stuff a little bit more.
Sure.
And it looks really cool. Even as something as simple as the silencer on a pistol. You've got new aspects to it that just make it more interesting and more fun. And that's the thing about video games. In general. When you add more stuff, more fun to it. I mean, it just makes it great.
Sure.
And Naughty Dog just does this so well. Where sound design, silenced pistol. 2 female characters that are badass. The interactions between the two are gonna affect your gameplay. All that stuff. So it's things you didn't see in Uncharted 4, but in that same world, in that same engine. But it's kind of they have a step ahead, so they can do all this new stuff that they might have wanted to do in Uncharted 4, but
Do you know what I think is a little bit of a detriment to the game though itself? But I kind of noticed is that it was too reminiscent of 12 Towers mission. I mean, you're doing the same thing as Nathan Drake did. Of course, Chloe has her own kind of feel. She's more has more self-interest involved as opposed to just Nathan, adventure, She has a lot of things that she's doing because she wants to or has a personal interest into it. But the level itself, I mean, even the design of the landscape, until you get into those enemy encampments and we see her actually fight those people, it gets more jungly. But when they're driving around the terrain, it almost looks like the way that Madagascar did in Uncharted 4. And that mission itself, the way it plays, is very reminiscent of 12 Towers. So, how familiar is it going to be to Uncharted 4? Of course, it's not a big detriment because we love that game.
Yeah.
But, we also don't want to play the same thing twice. We would just replay the game with different skins.
I don't feel like it will.
You don't think so?
I mean, in Naughty Dog, we trust.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Naughty Dog,
they just
got a good track record.
Yeah, I mean, they always want to do something different, and I'm sure the team that's working on that DLC, they're hey, well, it's not even really DLC now, but it's
game.
It's but I'm sure those guys, they're probably a younger team because the guys that were working on Uncharted 4, they're probably all working on The Last of Us 2 now. So you got probably this younger team of guys where that's a whole other can of worms.
The Last of Us sweats.
I know, my God.
But I'm sure they're
Instagram for all that stuff. We've been really harking on Last of Us.
The point is, you don't just got Frank designing the game. You got a team of Franks.
Frank's making switches.
He just needs a bowl of soup and a shower. It's just he's been going on this for days and days.
Poor Frank.
Well, the DLC drops digitally for $40, $39.99 on August 22nd. We're all getting it, I assume. And we're all going to be talking about it on this show. That's absolutely happening.
Hell yeah.
So stay tuned for that. But guys, the show is over. We've established so many things, but primarily that you guys remain, weirdly enough, Hanzo mains. I don't get it.
That is not even close to being
accurate. The funny thing is how mad you guys get. I love it.
Have you seen a Hanzo main?
He looks bad. Well, not a main, but the character's badass.
Stop.
Hey, I'm going to stick with it.
Shit your face.
Jesus. I will not.
Shit your gross face.
I will drown
I'm in the chair.
I will drown you.
Oh, but before that happens, we're going to end the show. Guys, if you like what you see, please tune in again next week, Thursday, to see a whole new episode or to listen to a whole new episode. Again, iTunes, Google Play, you can hear the podcast, and of course, you can watch us on youtube.com/multiplayered. I want to give a special thanks to freaking DJ CUTMAN for his amazing sprite chiptune 8-bit music. That intro is awesome, guy. We love it, and we're going to keep playing it. And also, if you want to hear more of his music, go to djcutman.com. It's awesome. Anything else, guys? You want to say a little something?
Check out our Patreon at
Yeah,
patreon.com/multiplayered. Because all that stuff that you said, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. All that stuff is also on Patreon.
Yeah, all linked right there. And again, you can just donate $1 and get extra videos right then. And also, we're going to be doing a Patreon exclusive video very soon because one of our Patreons hit that incentive and he requested a game for us, some homework, a game for us to play and to talk about on the show. And guys, you won't be able to see that unless you donate $1. So let's see what happens. We're going to get real crazy. It's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. Guys, you can also follow us on our Instagram and our Twitter at GoMultiplayer, and of course our personal Twitter accounts as well. And our Instagrams at Masdorado for my Twitter, and for Instagram at Guillermo_Dorado.
I'm at Zack Matzganis, ZACKMATZGANIS.
Smooth as butter. Javier.
On Twitter, I am at Multiplayer Hav. JV.
Okay. That's it. We have our 2 lovely cameramen and sound guys who are also going to be doing their own shows very soon. We have Nathan, who is at Multiplayer Nath, and Mick, who is at Mick to the Wood, both on Instagram and on Twitter. But thank you so much for watching. We hope you guys come back and join us again real soon. But until then, keep grinding, and we'll see you at the respawn.
See you guys.
We love you.
On behalf of Multiplayer, Mario would like to send a special thank you to Jaden Lawrence, Arturo Mendera, Mercedan Kroll Pitaru, and Mario Dorado. Thank you so much for watching.